Hey y'all, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to our channel, our home, our family, our crew. I hope y'all are doing well, being blessed, staying safe. It's still early in the morning. It is 8:30, that's it, 8:35. But so yeah, how y'all been doing? I pray everyone is doing well. Y'all being blessed. Y'all are staying positive, encouraged, and in your faith as much as possible. I just wanted to come on real quick and talk to you guys. I was in the tub, as always, doing my morning devotional and talking and just being still and listening to God and sitting in Him and His peace. And I've been kind of, I don't know, going back and forth a little bit if I had kind of wanted to talk about this or not. And I prayed on it and I asked God, and He is definitely showing me, letting me know the things that He want me to speak on, the things that He want me to talk about. It's not going to be received by everybody. It's not for everybody, and that's perfectly fine because it does not supposed to be. It only supposed to be for the people who it is meant to touch. But you guys know what we've been going on in with our family, with my mom's health, mine, my son Phillips, and my daughter Alicia's for some years. And we've always been in our faith. We've always been Christian. We've always went to church and tithe and just believed in God and everything that is beautiful in that. But I think what was missing, what I know what was missing was us. And what I mean by that is us truly surrendering in God and waiting on Him and waiting in Him. And it's a difference of waiting on God to do something and waiting in God while He is working. And that is something that I had to learn, and surrendering to Him and completely dying to myself and living for God. I did that a couple of months back. And I have rededicated my life many times, meaning, being baptized or after church service, just going up and testifying, being anointed and blessed, prayed over. And I've done that like every season of my life with as far as my age, as a young adult, of course. As a child, my mom did it with me. And then as a young adult, and then once I had my children and all of that, and then just going into my adulthood. But this time it was different because, of course, it wasn't in a church. It was me and God. And it was in the truest form, the purest form. I was in the tub and I just broke. I broke and just surrendered and gave Him all. And that day I truly just died to me, into my flesh, into my sins, into everything. And I lived for Him. When I got up out of that tub, I was reborn, and everything I do now is in God and for Him. And that's what truly learning to wait in God means. And things that I've just been kind of noticing, that after all of this, everything with me is different. The way that I think, the way that I talk, the way that I am, how I feel. And I'm still me. I'm still Alicia. I'm still who God wants me to be. It's just I move differently in my spiritual walk. So it has nothing to do with the flesh. It has nothing to do with anything of this world. It's just how I move spiritually. I hear from God all the time. And spiritually, I hear, and then just intensely, I can hear with my ears certain words and things that He says every morning that I get up. And I'm not going to discuss everything with you guys, but every morning that I get up, like I said, once we get Philip on the bus, and even if it's a weekend, it does not matter. If I have something to do for 7, 8 o'clock that morning, when I get home, I'm getting in the tub. And that is just my time with God. Everybody has a special place. And I've always done that. And I did it without even knowing why God needed me there. Because the kids would always say, Mama, why you take a bath every day that long? And I've done that for years. Like, even from a little girl, my mama can tell you, I would sit in a tub and I would be in a tub and I would just be singing gospel songs that we used to sing at church. And I'm talking about at 8, 9 years old, not even knowing why I was doing that. And I wouldn't play with baby dolls or nothing. I would just get in the tub, take my bath, and just start singing gospel songs. Like I said, at 8, 9 years old. And I did that. Even after Hurricane Katrina hit and we was living in a FEMA trailer, I would take my shower and I would just sing gospel songs and just pray. And I was going through a lot back then. Just had lost my baby and I was upset. I was mad. I was angry at God. But I still would just still do that. And it's like when God showed me why he needed me to do that, it hit me in a way that I would never be able to explain. And then you guys would see I would come on camera and I would be like, oh Lord, I be asking all the time, why God got me this way? Because I love my family and I do anything for them, you guys. And if you all know me, y'all know that um, my entire life truly has been just based around them, around God and them. And I never made any apologies for it because even when I was younger, a lot of my friends would be like, well, why won't you move out of state? Or why won't you do this? Or why won't you do that? And I never just had the desire to. I always wanted to be around my mom. Of course, I had my children. I didn't want to uproot them. And I wanted them to be raised around my grandmother and my mama. So I did that. And I never felt bad like, oh God, I never got to see this. Or I never got to go live here. And, I never got, none of that ever bothered me. I was always so content and happy just being where God needed me to be. But I never understood that was where he needed me to be. It was just how I was living. And then even as far as like homemaking, how I clean and how I do for my family and do laundry, like the basic things that most people be like, oh God, I don't feel like doing this. I told you guys, for me, cleaning was so therapeutic because I can turn my gospel music on. I'll start cleaning. I'll do every cabinet. I'm scrubbing floors. And I love to do it. I don't mean like as a chore when seasons change. I truly love to do it. I would get in this kitchen and rearrange my kitchen every week if I could. I love moving refrigerators and stoves out and just cleaning and wiping everything. It's like a renewal. And I've always said that. But again, I never thought about it in a way of like, this is what God needs me to be. And I even told you guys, like, I've always, talked to God and was like, what is my gift? Because a lot of people knew what their gift was. Some people would be singing, some people would be art, um, cooking, whatever, fashion, whatever that gift may be. And I would always be like, God, what is my gift? Because everybody else saying what their gifts are, like, what is my gift? And I always would just feel like kind of left out, like, because I never knew what my gift was. I love to sing and I can sing, but I knew my gift wasn't singing. I love to write, but I knew my gift was not writing. Art, I'm not good at art at all. My kids are because they get it from my brother. My brother get it from my uncle. So it was always in our family. Like they knew what they wanted. But for me, I always just thought my gift was just being a caregiver because from 16 years old, I started working at a nursing home. I was still in high school working at a nursing home. I wanted to care for people. I wanted to be in the nursing field. So I just thought, okay, well, this is my gift. But, and it did make me feel good, but I knew something was missing. But I did that feel my whole life pretty much up until now when I could no longer work anymore because I had to care for my kids. When Alicia got sick and Philip got sick and Mama got sick, my caregiving was home. I still worked from home, but then it switched to billing and coding and whatnot and healthcare reimbursement, but it was through the house. Um, and then I just was caring for my mom at home. So I'm like, okay, well, that's just my gift being a caregiver. And I was okay with that. But I knew still something was missing. So a couple of weeks back, I was in the tub and I had did my new version, which I do every morning. And I've been doing for years. I think this is my 5th year. And I was doing my new version Bible app and the verse of the day was exactly what me and Jordan talked about the day before. And I had no idea. And I was floored. Like I was kind of like, this is nothing but God right here, right now. And I went and got in the tub and I was reading more into it. If you guys know about the new version, you can read the entire chapter. You can do however you want with your devotionals. And each step it just guides you a little bit more into worshiping. So I was doing that, and every single thing that I have been praying on, everything that I have been asking God for, and I don't mean anything materialistic, just in my faith and knowing, wanting to know all of these years, what is my gift? And I have read this one Bible reading for years about our gifts, but it never hit me the way that it did until that day. And my gift was already in me. This entire time, my gift was already in me. Caring for others, being here for others, doing for others, um, taking care of my family as far as in our house, and the angels surrounding, the angels around your house and anointing your house and speaking over your family. Because of course my husband is the man of the house and he is the provider. But just having that role as a woman of faith and being the woman of faith in your family and praying for them and anointing your entire home and your family outside of your home, it just hit me different because I knew I loved to pray for people. I knew I loved to just be there and anoint my friends and pray for them and stand in the gap and intercede. Like that has just always been something that was so easy for me to do. And I did it even for people who just dogged me out, treated me wrong, lied on me. I never got angry. I would be hurt, but I never got angry. I would just pray for them. And even if I had to pray for them over and over and over until they eventually just left me alone, that's what I did. And I naturally did it and didn't know why. And my mother-in-law, Mama E, would tell me all the time, baby girl, you're carrying your gift right now and you don't even know it. She told me that when I was on the phone with her before they even moved here. Before they moved here, she told me that. And I was like, oh, Lord. In my mind, I was thinking, oh, Lord, this going to be my mother-in-law. She crazy. Because if she telling me this and speaking it to me and speaking it, because she was speaking in tongues. And I've had people before that spoke in tongues to me, and I had people before that said that to me, but I always just kind of brushed it off. And when she said it, it was like just more confirmation. Because when I was doing a chemo, I was doing one of my infusions at the Slidell Clinic, and Philip Biological Dad had brought me. He waited for me that day because I only had to do 30 minutes that day. And I was sitting in the office and I would in an infusion room, and I was talking to this elderly lady. I used to sit by her all the time. And I was sitting by her and she told me, baby, you have a gift. God has anointed you and you have a gift that is so deep inside of you. God has to help you get it out, but you have to ask him. And I was just like, oh, okay, you being polite, like, yes, ma'am. And she was like, do you hear me? And I was like, yes, ma'am. She said, no, because you're not ready for it yet. And this was back in 2006, because Katrina hit in 05. This was in 2006. And we are in 2023. I've had people tell me this at church, my mom friends. My grandmother used to tell me that all the time. I've had people just that I've came in contact with, whether in a grocery store or just working in the medical field, older people used to tell me, like, and it didn't make sense to me because I was like, me, somebody like me who had children out of wedlock, and just like everybody else, you lived, you sinned, and yeah. But I'm like, by the grace of God, and I thank him because now being in the place that I'm in now and still just providing for my family. And I tell y'all all the time, and I mean it, like it's my family can tell you that. It's just no matter how much I say, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not cleaning this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing when they get home from work, they can do their laundry this weekend, or I'm not gonna worry about this, and they can do this when they get home. But it don't sit right with me. And it's not about spoiling them because they know how to clean and all of that. But at the end of the day, this is still my home. And I'm going to take care of my home. And yes, the kids help me. And yes, they all do their part. But I'm coming from a place of what I need to do for my family, for in God, with him, because of him, what he needs me to do, and how he needs me to work, and how he needs me to pray and anoint and provide in that spiritual way, I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter what it looked like to the world. It doesn't even matter what it would look like to my husband, because I'm being obedient to God. And so in saying that, the other day, and like I said, I'm finna get y'all in my business just a little bit. Like I told y'all, financially, everybody think because they see our grocery hauls that we have all this money. No, everybody works. And because everybody works, times are hard, everybody put in on groceries. But as y'all see, when we go grocery shopping, it's more weekly, because when I get paid, I'll go. Jordan get paid, he'll go. The kids get paid, I'll go. You know, they'll give me the money and I'll go. And that's how we shop, because it works for our family. Every family is different. But for some reason, the last couple of months just been rough financially for me, because I've been having to pay for medicines for certain things, just recovering from my surgery. Y'all know, wasn't able to really work. I had to give up my main job that I was doing online because I just couldn't do it anymore, and having to take care of mama, doctors. I was just missing so much. And then after my surgery, I couldn't really record, so I was missing out on YouTube money. And it was taking me a while to build back. So my account was in the negative a lot. And I'm just being honest, it was in the negative a lot. And then every time I would do a company review and I would get paid, I would pay that off and get my balance back up to date. And then another bill would come. And it was like, for some reason, I just could not catch up to where my payment would come in for my collaborations before another bill was due. And usually, y'all, I would stress about it and pretty much have myself about to get a heart attack and another stroke worried about it. But I told y'all, when I let everything go and surrendered everything to God, I cared no more about none of that. So when it would happen, I would be like, okay, well, when I get my review, I'll pay it. And that was just how it was. And I would be like, by the grace of God, and I would pray on it. And I would say my prayer my prayer at the end. And that was it. It was just that simple. So a couple of nights ago, I had got an email. And this email was a blessing. I'm not going to say what it was, who or how, but it was the biggest blessing that I have received to this date. To this date. And I know God has more for me. He has more coming. And I don't know how, when, where, what, through whom, or how it's going to come, but I know it's going to be from God, because this was from no one but Jesus and God himself, okay? And when I seen it, y'all, I could not contain myself. I cried, I screamed, I yelled, I praised God, I thanked him. I wanted to run around the room and just speak in tongue, but it was nighttime, and I think I was kind of scared, Mama and them. But y'all just don't know how the truest blessing from someone will change somebody's life. And I've always said, God, when you put me in a situation to where I will be financially able to bless other people, I will. And I always have prayed that prayer. And I don't mean, it doesn't have to be millions, but I'm just speaking because we see homeless people and we bless them. We see people in the grocery store that may not have enough money, and we don't either, but we bless them, because I hate to see people have to put stuff back. And we don't get accolades. We don't ask for accolades. We don't share it. We don't talk about it. I'm just speaking of this now just so you guys will understand where I'm coming from. When I see homeless people sleeping on the side of the road, I want to bring them food, but because of the laws now, you can't. If you get caught, like you can get them food from homeless, like McDonald's or places, but you can't bring them packed food, because if you get caught, you're in trouble, unless you have a license to do so. So we're working on that, because we truly want to be able to feed the homeless, but we got to go through the steps to be able to do it. And even if we see, because it was a time we had talked to this young guy, and me and Jordan picked him up. We rode him and took him to get something to eat. He had no shoes, but Jordan had these shoes in the trunk, and he blessed the guy with it. And that's the thing, like when we do stuff, like I said, we don't pick up the camera to record or none of that. We do it from God. in him, and we look for nothing in return. Like my mom, she need me to go to Goodwill for her today because she needs some sweatpants and sweatshirts and sweatpants. And y'all know mama lost so much weight, so now she's in smaller sizes. So all her bigger stuff, her sweaters fit her oversized, which is fine because she'll layer them, but her pants, she needed smaller ones. So she was like, I need you to go for me. I don't care what my family has going on. If I have something that I have to do, I'm going to put what I got to do to the side to be here for my mama, to be here for Mama E, my mama Margaret in Georgia. And I know I don't get to see her and talk to her as much, but she knows she always have a huge place in my heart. And with her not being here, it's like I have that void. And that's just how I am. Like, I miss my friends. I miss my sister Cecilia, Tawana, all of them. I miss my friend Mo. I miss my friends and my sisters, my brother T and his wife Marie. It's like I feel like I have huge voids when I don't have them around me. And I've always been that way. And not that I'm clingy or nothing. It's just, people who truly affects my life and impact my life. When I can't see or talk to them often, I have this void. But I know that God is fixing it all and he's working it all out. And that's why I vlog, because I love you guys so much. And that's all of you. Even those who watch that don't like me, it's okay because I love you too. Even those who, make negative and mean comments, it's okay because I love you too. I pray for you too. I wish nothing bad upon you. And like I say, not everything is going to be for everybody. But I genuinely love people. And it's so hard to explain because I'm always praying for those who hurt me. And Jordan tell me all the time, babe, all you can do is pray and get in people to God. Don't keep picking it back up and letting it be your problem. And I understand where he's coming from. And I don't pick stuff back up like I used to, because I used to pray, give God the glory and the faith behind stuff, and then pick it up thinking he's not going to be able to handle it, do it, and he can't. But it's like now it's different to where if someone hurt me or wronged me, I pray for them and I let God just do what he's going to do. But I never stop praying for the situation. So, y'all will never know how much I truly appreciate each and every last one of you guys for just being here in whichever way you are. For everyone that blesses us in each way, just for liking a video. And I ask y'all all the time, when y'all watch, if y'all want to do anything for me and y'all watch, just give the video a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you can give it a thumbs down. But I just ask that y'all do that because it does get us out more. Like the more communication, whether it's a thumbs up, a comment, even if it's a heart, is pushing it out for YouTube, because you guys are telling me you should get way more views. That's a way to help me get more views, by everybody just simply doing their part and just hitting a button. That's it. And like I said, if you don't like it, you can give it a thumbs down. It's still something for them. And other than that, just being here for us, praying for us, communicating with us in the comment section, messaging us, texting, calling, email, everything that you guys do. Loving on my mama, loving on Mama E, praying for us, interceding for us, and just standing in the gap all the time. That means more than anything in the world is you guys' prayers. Y'all don't ever have to do anything for us. Just support and pray. And support and pray. Pray and support. Pray and support. Pray and support. And God is always doing it. He's always working. He never stopped. He never will. And that's for y'all life too. What I'm saying to y'all, what I'm saying to you guys is happening to me, but it is for you all as well. Never stop being who you are in God. I don't care if it does not look right to somebody else. I don't care if it seems like it's just tiresome and you're never getting anywhere, or you seem like you always blessing others or doing for others or being there for others, but nothing is given back to you, or you feel like you feel so unappreciated when you do it for your family. But trust me, they do appreciate you, and God is seeing it, and he's doing his part. He never stops working. God never stops working. He's always working. We just stop searching. We stop believing in him. And I don't mean believing like that, but we stop trusting and having faith in him. He's doing what he's doing. He never stops. It never comes back void. So God is always working. He doesn't go to sleep like we go to sleep. So nothing is changing for him. It's been forever from the beginning of time to the end of time. God is going to be who he is. It's us that change. It's us that stop having faith, or we want something right here and now. And if it's not coming, we thinking that God did not hear our prayers. He heard your prayers. Maybe that's not what he had for you, because he got something bigger and better. Maybe he doesn't want you to get this one thing because it may have you going down a different way, or somebody may rob you of that or steal from you. So we never know what God is protecting us from. So I just always ask that my will lines up with God's. Not that his line up with mine. I ask that my will line up with the will of God. And what I have on my heart will always line up with his. What I have inside of me will line up with the will of his. Not the other way around. God does not work on my time. I work on his time. So I just truly stay in him. And it's at first, it is hard at first. And I'm not going to lie. It's very hard at first because we have to get out of self and we have to get out of body. And it's times that, even like with my mama, when I see that she's sick and not feeling well, I want her to feel better like this. And I pray for her. And I just want that miracle that, okay, God, you work miracles all the time. I don't want to see my mama suffering. Just heal her. I pray for her and everything. But sometimes God needs her to go through what he needs her to go through for his will and his reason, so we can all see the glory in it. And I had to understand that. But I'm still going to keep praying for her. Jordan had hurt his leg the other day. And I've been praying for my husband. And I was in the tub yesterday and I prayed for him. And God spoke to me and told me to come bring him in there with me. So, and Jordan was in pain. The look of his face, I wanted to cry. But he came in the bathroom. He got out the bed. He was in the bed. He got out the bed. He came in the bathroom with me. I held his hand and I just anointed my husband. And then he went back and laid back down and his pain eased. So when God tells me to move, to do anything, to not do something, if he say don't do it, it's just for you, it's just for me. If God tells me to move, I do it. If he tells me to say something, I do it. I am going to be obedient for the rest of my life because I've spent so much time worrying about what somebody else is going to say if I say this, or how people are going to see me if I say God say this. I don't care. Like, that's not my concern, my word, my problem. Um, so I'm being obedient to God and living in his will and staying in him and being in him. And it's working. Am I always going to have good days? No, but I'm always going to be blessed as long as God gives me the power to wake up in the morning. And especially knowing what my mama going through, I have days that's just so hard that I just cry. I just cry because I want my mama back to the mama Margaret and dancing. And y'all know how she be dancing and stuff. I want to see that. But in God's time, his will and in his time, it's going to happen. And he already reassured me of that. He spoke that to me. And this morning, he spoke a promise to me. And when he said what he said, I was shook. I was really shook because I'm like, that's not possible because I don't do that. Like, that's not something I've ever done. I've never thought about doing this particular thing. But then I had to realize, and like Nona Jones said, and I follow her on Instagram, I follow her on YouTube. And when she said, you have to remember it's the impossible and you know it's God because it's faith. That's when your faith kicks in. You work on nothing of your will. You work on nothing of you. You work on nothing of your flesh, nothing of your hands. Is in the will of God. And when it's the will of God and it's through his faith and through your faith in him and trusting in him, that's when everything gonna unfold. So I'm trusting God for that. For what he gave me this morning, I'm trusting in God for that. And it's gonna happen. I don't know when, again, I don't know where or how, but I know it will. So I'm gonna continue moving in that every day. So I just wanted to come on and speak to you guys about that real quick. Hopefully it gives you guys just a little bit of encouragement that no matter what you got going on, Surrender all to God. Everything, just surrender to Him. And if that surrendering seem hard and that submission seem hard, just pray and ask God to give you the strength. And you're going to be able to do it. I promise you, you will. Do it every day, every single day. And it gets easier. The more you submit, the more you just ask Him, you will notice with the sweetest breath that it happened and you won't even realize it changed. Um, just continue to just stay encouraged and stay in faith and stay in peace and know that God is working. When it doesn't feel like it, He's working, and that He never changed. It's us that did. So just get back to that, get back in Him and lean on Him. And I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next video. So until then, y'all be blessed.